let's get into our next topic, which is nice guy versus good guy.
There's a difference between being a nice guy and a good man.
Listen.
A nice guy is disingenuous. He's a people pleaser that can't say no.
Oh, no.
He does things with the expectations that one day he's gonna get rewarded for his nice actions.
Why?
See, a good man is based off character, morals, principles, and convictions that don't waver regardless of the circumstance. A good man, while kind, never accepts disrespect. A good man operates off integrity, never off entitlement. A nice guy will tell you what you want to hear. A good man, he doesn't care about being a bad guy to tell you what you need to hear.
Yes.
Nice guys finish last. Good men, we stay focused.
All right, so we always talk about the negative side of a nice guy, but then he also said just because you're not a nice guy don't mean that you can't be a good man. I thought it was a good for us to break that down. Nice guy versus good man. What are your thoughts? I'm gonna go ahead and go to Trigger Mike first.
All right, so I think he switched out a couple of definitions. I think we got an echo somewhere in the back. This dude just described a simp. All right, so a simp is the nice guy. The guy that ingratiates himself with women to make them more amenable for whatever he wants to, anything she wants. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll get it for you. Yeah, you need that? I'm cool. I'm your guy. Yeah, you know, that kind of guy. So I absolutely agree. But the one part I think I want to highlight that he said about good men, and it really has to do with a lot of the narrative that's coming back in this push to revive the spirit of men, is if you've done nothing wrong, don't apologize. Right? If you're going to be a man's man, that's the way I like to describe it. You need to be on the side of men. You need to learn from men and don't apologize when you haven't done anything wrong. The women actually need that. What women are doing currently in society is pushing to see how much they can get, disagreeing to see how much you won't push back. And they have been succeeding in that for a long time. Women cannot do anything with a brick wall. In fact, they ultimately find that sexier. That's why they always leave the nice guy for the good man, or at least desire the good man if they can get him. It's because this dude is rigid. He does not change his feeling for anything. He's forthright. He's looking in that direction. And he said, you could come with me, but I'm going. And then by the time I'm gone, I'm gone. This is the way I do things. These are my rules. This is what I require. It's okay if you don't meet these expectations, but I'm going anyway. It doesn't even matter if a girl doesn't like that in the moment. Every woman respects it. To her core, she respects it. That's all I got.
Sweeney, nice guy versus good guy. What are your thoughts?
I was gonna ask you, can I see that video one more time, man?
Oh, come on.
Somebody in the chat was fucking with me, so I couldn't pay attention.
You see, I put the chat up for you guys and hoping you guys can handle yourselves, but I'm going to have to take it back down.
Kings, there's a difference between being a nice guy and a good man.
Listen.
A nice guy is disingenuous. He's a people pleaser that can't say no.
Oh, no.
He does things with the expectations that one day he's going to get rewarded for his nice actions.
Why?
See, a good man is based off character, morals, principles, and convictions that don't waver regardless of the circumstance. A good man, while kind, never accepts disrespect. A good man operates off integrity, never off entitlement. A nice guy will tell you what you want to hear. A good man, he doesn't care about being a bad guy to tell you what you need to hear.
Yes.
Nice guys finish last. Good men, we stay focused.
All right, there you go, Sweeney.
Okay. Again, the negative connotation on a word that doesn't who. I don't think that's what a nice guy is. A nice guy is just a nice guy. I don't think a nice guy may necessarily be a good man, but I also don't agree with him on what he defines as a nice guy. Somebody that's only does in the hopes that they get something in return. I don't think that's what a nice guy is. As far as what he described as a good man, I kind of agree with him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with his definition of nice guy though. That's
so what's the definition of a nice guy?
Somebody who's just genuinely nice.
Listen, just so you know, when you're asking for a definition, you cannot use the word. That's the definition.
I mean, all right. So, all right, hold on. Give me a second. So the definition of nice:
Nice guy
pleasant,
is somebody
agreeable, and
harmless.
satisfactory.
Yeah, and so
Harmless.
think about it though, Sweeney. Think about it. Is agreeableness, or at least, yeah, is agreeableness a desirable factor in men? It's absolutely desirable in women. Is it desirable in men?
I don't think it matters.
Oh, it matters.
Here's what I mean by I don't think it matters. Is it?
It
Are we
matters
talking
to-
about? Are we talking
before
about?
you say that, before you answer that, doesn't matter to who.
Exactly. That's why I'm. That's what I'm asking. Is like somebody who's just nice to the regular everyday person. I don't think it matters to them that guy is nice. But if you're talking about how whether that may or may not attract a woman or not, yeah, I can agree with y'all on that. I think it does matter. That a guy may not, who's agreeable all the time, may not be necessarily attractive to her. You know what I mean? But to say that nice is a negative thing, in the sense that he provided it.
For context, nice guy, not just nice. It's a connotation with nice guy, which completes the definition.
And you wouldn't want your homie to be like a nice guy if the part of the definition is agreeableness.
But all of us have a degree of agreeableness. Every last one of us.
Yeah, it is a sliding scale, absolutely. But the sliding scale goes from man's man to simp, and I ain't no simp.
And I agree that to be a simp is wrong, but to say that a nice guy, just because we're trying to associate that with something that I don't think it is.
So JR, you might can I take a step at this really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing: it's not just that nice guys are repulsive to women; they're repulsive to men. Like I think that what we typically do, we put this in the context of relationships. Nice guys are insecure with themselves, and that insecurity, men sense that, and it's something we can't stand, we don't like. And in order to hide that insecurity, they look for validation. How do you get validation? Agree with everything. They don't have a backbone for what they stand for. They're not consistent, which looks like they don't have integrity. So the nice guy, it's not just that women don't like that. Men don't respect it, right? And I think so. It's a very true thing. If you are a nice guy, I guarantee you, either you were raised in a place where you had to compete or you had to prove yourself and you didn't get validation. And so you found something, whether this was a talent or a skill or a resource, you were bargaining for respect. That's typically what happened with dudes who become nice guys. And so that template you take into your relationships. So you think that if you pay all of her bills, you're the masculine man, you give her what she wants, that she's going to love you. And you lose respect because women respect a man who has principles he stands on. Whether she's with him or not with him, he's still going to be him. And you can't be a nice guy like that. Like you wouldn't want to go to war with somebody like he a nice guy. You want somebody who's ruthless. You want somebody who's willing to rip somebody and shred them into pieces, but who has the capacity to show a level of civility. That's how men are supposed to be.
But that's not a nice guy.
It's an issue.
That's not a nice guy. That's a pushover.
So let me just add this real quick.
I'm a nice guy.
Let me add this real quick for context. So these are the words that I made that I see synonymous with nice guy for context of the whole term: dirty Mac, friend zone, male friend, simp, people pleaser, pushover, bitch ass nigga. I could make a very good argument that I've heard all these terms associated with nice guy. And the reason why I think this qualifies what Sir Hale was talking about, when a woman is about to put a dude in the friend zone and he was interested in her, how does she describe saying she's not interested? Fellas,
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but you see what I'm saying? You're a nice guy, but I'm just not looking.
I definitely want to add to that. I think the difference between nice guy and good man is simply that a nice guy is harmless, right? Like a nice guy can't dominate the situation even if he wants to. The difference between a good man and a nice guy is that a good man has the capacity to be dangerous, to do harm, and to dominate the situation, and may choose not to by exercising self-control. So I feel like that's really what it is. It's about self-control. It's about the power and their ability to choose. A nice guy doesn't have the ability. He's harmless. Where a good man can be a bad man, but chooses not to.
So
then can I add to that then as well? I'll kind of
go.
add to it for sure. Maybe I can simplify it to this. A good man sets his own rules. A nice guy follows others' rules.
So here's the thing that I'm having trouble with, because again, we're trying to apply this to being nice rather than just applying this to being a weak or a pushover. That's a weak man. It's not a
We're talking
nice
about
guy.
nice
He's
guy,
just weak.
not nice guy. See what I'm saying?
So
You're interpreting it as
all
nice guy when it's nice guy.
Okay, so basically what we're saying is that there's a we're defining a specific type of guy, and we're applying the word nice guy to him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not us. It's not us. It is culture, right? We're
That nailed it.
we're using we're using the terminology as it exists in our culture. Not
Humble
how
that
you
nailed
want,
it.
not how
So
you
in
want to
business,
use it.
so Humble that nailed it. In business, and typically everybody understands in the corporate structure or in a corporate structure or in entrepreneurship, nice people make good managers, right? But they make bad business owners. I'm sure you all heard of the term shrewd. If you want to succeed in business and entrepreneurship and build a business and scale, you have to be shrewd. Niceness don't win. You got to be you got to do good business, but the nicer you are, the faster you'll get pushed over. But we want nice people working for us because those people keep the employees happy. So we want nice managers, people that can understand other people and think about them and all that kind of stuff. But whenever you go to the boss's office, if you go up to the top floor, come to my office and knock on my door, I'm not nice. I'm not nice. You know, the owners are typically not nice people, but the managers are nice people. And so the nicer you are, the easier it is to get pushed over. Now take that same concept and transcend it over into relationships, and you'll see what Humble Dad and Sir Hill was talking about.
I want to add this last thing. The nicer you are, the more you care about what people think about you. And I think that's what messes it up. Like, nice people really care about people's opinions about them, right? So if you feel like people are you anticipate their response and you make decisions based off of what you anticipate how they're going to respond to you. People who don't care about that make better decisions. That's why it's important for men not to be the nice guy. It's important to be able to be kind, but that nice guy, you care too much about what people think, and you will never be successful that way.
And just to add to what Shannon said, that he described perfectly the barrier issue that women have to ascension to corporate structure because of the agreeableness and the niceness. So the women actually have they surpass men in almost like 8 out of 10 leadership qualities, but they all have to do with what people say they want in a leader, which are nicety. I want somebody to know how to talk to me and all this. They can't surpass men in decisiveness, which is not agreeableness. It's almost, it's not agreeableness. The ability to be decisive no matter what the consequence is. That is why men tend to surpass them in that level to say, I'm going to be disagreeable, even if it means, because I know I have to get us here, even if the people are going to hate me for it. So agreeableness, again, is not desirable.
So basically what you're saying is that 99% of the world is essentially nice guys.
You know what? There are a lot of nice guys. You're right. There are more nice guys.
No, all of them are nice. Majority of them.
I mean,
majority of them are nice.
Think about it. Whole world bitch ass niggas. That's crazy.
No, think of it this way. Think about what you just described.
He said
majority of people work for people. Majority of people.
You're right. You're right.
Maybe that's why only 5% of men are.
It ain't 99, but there, you're right.
That's practically. I mean, we may be skin and teeth right now, but the difference between 1% and 5%.
It's a huge gap.
I want to know what study that you read that published 99%, Sweeney. I want the research. I want to see it. I don't know where you get 99%.
Think about the vast, what percentage of people own a business that involves other employees?
20 to 25% of Americans own a business. 20 to 25%.
But what percentage of them with employees?
With
owning a business where you're
if it's 20% that are we gonna do this for real? If 20% own a business, then even if it's a one employee operated
One employed by man they self.
Yeah, that's an employee.
So Sweeney did say the world. He didn't say America. We understand where you come from, Sweeney. They fucking with you, Sweeney.
I was gonna say even if you said they only employed themselves, so you can only. I mean, you're essentially if you are the only employee, you working for your clients or your customers. Like for me, for example, I'm a barber. Technically, I own my own business, but I'm an employee of one. I don't have employees. I'm a slave to my clients.
So
you saying you're a nice guy?
What right over there?
I mean, what does it sound like?
It sounds nice.
It sounds nice.
Sweeney, pull up.
What does it sound like? I have a shrewdness to me to a degree, because if somebody don't show up, I got to be direct. Like, hey, bro, you owe me $40 for this appointment that you missed. But to the degree, I still need those clients, and there's some concessions that have to be made from time to time. But like, if I don't have them, I don't make money.
I think you're looking at your definition of nice and not paying attention to the cultural definition of nice.
No, I was going off of what he said in regards to somebody being the business owner or whatever in comparison to and I'm like, well, majority of the world almost. I would say above. Well, I know y'all said 20%, but we know that most of those people don't have employees, so they're essentially employed to their clients or employed whatever. So when we say that, we're talking about majority of the world are literally nice people. Then,
based on the definition,
and so that would mean that majority of people are unattractive.
Yeah, that's why the 1% is the 1%.
Man, yeah, but somebody, I mean, the 1% can't handle everybody.
Yeah,
so somebody got to make some
concessions. Doing a pretty damn good job.
Somebody got to make some concessions around here.
There's levels to it, Sweeney. And there's a difference between, an entrepreneur and a business owner. There's a difference between running a company and having a business. So
absolutely,
there's levels to it. A lot of people can be self-employed. I understand that, and I talk about this all the time. So there's self-employed, and then there's an entrepreneur. There's differences even in that, and a lot of people get it all mixed up. But the point I think the overreaching point that you're trying to make is that the majority of the world must be nice because the majority of the world work for somebody else, even if it's a sole proprietor that's working for himself and his clients. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So that does make sense. However, when we talk about scale and we're talking about building a business that's going to be impactful worldwide, where there's employees and there's people and it's more than just one motherfucker that's doing something. We're not talking about a notary public, right? We're talking about people that has an entrepreneur that has a system in place. The person at the top is typically not as nice as you think they are. They have they have to do good business, but they're not typically as nice as the nice guy that we're talking about right now.
Agreed. I just look at it like everybody has their lot in life. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be I mean, they even said that, didn't they say that every CEO has some form of some type of what is it? Narcissism about them? I do believe it takes a special kind of, I think it requires a special kind of crazy to be able to do that. I think when I was watching the TV show, what was that TV show? All American, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that what the hell is the name of the dude? The coach. What was his name?
Billy Baker.
Yeah. One of the things he kept telling the young man was that, hey, look, you're gonna have to forget about them. Because and it showed, it manifested itself in the show, because the more he cared about everybody else, the worse he did. Every time he had to care about somebody else, he missed the assignment, he missed the practice, he missed the game, or he couldn't perform, or something like that. And I realized that it requires a specific type of crazy and a specific type of narcissism to be able to forget about everybody to achieve your goal,
or focus.
I love
focus.
No, I think Sweeney's onto something, sir. Here, I'll debate it. I'm telling you right now, only in this country. Remember, I'm Nigerian. Only in this country do y'all use narcissism as a bad thing. Y'all put a negative connotation behind narcissism. The more narcissistic a person is, it's only negative if they can't back it up. I'm telling you right now, when people call someone a narcissist, I look very closely to the circumstances this person has in life. Their ability to be so self-absorbed usually yields them success.
Yeah.
If it usually yields them success. So that's why I'm like, people don't understand. Is for someone to be so present in the spotlight, to be able to refer to themselves in the third person on their own show and all that type of, it's like, damn, okay, it yields them success. So if someone is not a narcissist, maybe they need to be more self-absorbed, and maybe they'll start manifesting things like the person.
Heck no, that was intellectual, but that was dishonest. We're talking narcissism means it's excessive, so by definition you can prove it. I think what you're talking about is somebody who's completely immersed and focused, who's getting results. I don't think we should be giving no.
I think you're trying to wrap it at a pretty bow, but
I'm saying like narcissism is
arrogance versus
thing.
narcissism. I'm telling you, I think it's narcissism.
But I will say this though. I will to your point. I will say I do think that the people who like make it in big, exceed expectations. I do see those characteristics, to be honest, and it's a reason why their marriages suffer, their children suffer because of that. But I just don't want to make it seem like, hey guys, I'm a narcissist, and this is a good thing, right? I don't want to put that out there like that.
Think about it for real. One of them became president. We've seen arguably one of the most narcissistic, and he became president.
And let's examine that. Let's examine.
Say what you want to say about it. That man, like,
he still made it.
Most of us could never say we'd be president of the United States. That man became president.
Said whatever the hell he wanted to say.
Unfiltered.
And how many terms?
We can rattle off all kind of names. Kanye, Trump,
Kobe,
Elon,
Jay-Z,
Michael
Jordan,
all the greats.
We can name all
Tom Brady
names back to back. Where
Serena Williams,
textbook narcissists.
Now let me ask you a question. Then, would you want to trade your life for theirs?
Hell yeah,
absolutely.
You darn narcissist.
Absolutely.
I'm not hiding it either.
Do you $60 million to play football?
Yeah.
Shit.
Lapeef Jr., I think you got yourself a bunch of narcissists on your hands.
I would trade my life for Trump, and I'm not even going to go to anybody else more desirable. I would trade my life.
Look, Trump running from the NYPD and all. He lived a hell of a life. He ain't had to run from the NYPD until he was 80-something years old.
Listen, he's such a narcissist that the vitriol against him makes him more popular. The more you try to jail him, the more popular. You running a campaign for him. That's what his narcissism gets him. The more you talk about him and his narcissism, it just makes him more popular. I would love to be Donald Trump.
Hey, Sahara, I will tell you one other thing too. We got a bunch of pocket watches on here too. Did anybody didn't get to answer the question? Like Luis, did you?
Just be good. Just be good. Just be good. Be a good man, everybody.
One of the things I would say is a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has the vulnerability to stay under control.
Who doesn't do harm.
Exactly.
So when Sir Hale brought up Caesar and people caring about other people's opinion, those become anchors in your life. Those are the things that slow you down. Those are the things that stop you from getting to that next pinnacle in your life. Those are the things that you need to kind of let go. To sum it up, the lion does not concern himself with the opinion of the sheep.
I forgot about that one.
So for you to be that lion, that man, that alpha in any capacity, in anything you're trying to do, you have to, disconnect from certain aspects that will slow you down. And that includes caring about what people think, because when you're in the driver's seat, you can't care about who's in the passenger seat or who's in the back seat or who's in the trunk. They're not the ones who's paying attention to the road, and they're not the one who knows exactly where you're heading. Only you know where you're heading. And sort of, I think when we try to compare nice guys to good men, is that nice guys tend not to have a roadmap of how to navigate through conflicts in life versus how good men know how to stay within their integrity and their principles and not bend from those.
I got a quick question, JF, if you don't mind. Just
The
a real
Game of
quick question.
Thrones, baby. That's the House of Lannister.
I just want to. I'm curious. I know you brothers are alphas. You know, alphas. Have any of you guys ever been the nice guy? Real talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.